have been looking for. We better hope that the idea is there, but the execution is even better to back it up here. The sounds of Vici fighting are coming from the crowd, as I've recently discovered. That's what it means, although it's kind of hard to make it out. Dia going to be on the Genji. Oh, that's a bit new. What is this comp? XPG on Pharah. Okay, you have my attention, Vici.
Well, I think they're showing us that they definitely switch things up and are prepared to play on Temple of Newis against this team. It's just going to be really interesting to see how this is going to work, because XPG really doesn't have too much help. It comes down to Yumu keeping them healed, and also the unpredictable movements of a Pharah necessarily is really hard to heal. But Dia, we're going to be taking really low. Miro going to be on the Winston yet again. Triple tank setup, but very mobile, and Eska again on the Mei.
Yeah, this is a very chunky lineup for Lunatic-hai here, and you can see how quickly Dia was threatened earlier on by Miro. Got shot down to about 20 health and managed to just get away. Now Eska having to deal with this dive in. Tankyu's lucky to get out live. He manages to jump up on towards high ground, taking a bit of damage as he does fall back here. Vici, they've tested the waters a couple times. Miro pushed forward to get 2 extra kills, by the way. He got Yumu. And now they've realized that Vici, the water's a little bit hotter than they thought.
Yeah, but Vici are going to get stronger when the ultimates come online. They're really going to power up, and Dia has a Dragon Blade, which he has to be really careful here because Miro has already respawned back in. He's going to be able to spot him out, be in this position. But Rouge Hong, you hit so many sleep darts before, he's going to miss this one. He's actually being reflected on, but he's not being pressured.
Oh
He's
my
still
gosh.
at relatively high health.
Dragon Blade comes out, but it's nothing. It's not going to work at all. Rouge Hong gets the final shot towards Dia. Dia was hoping to maybe break through there, but he got completely outplayed every step of the way. Rouge Hong, impressive from him, gets himself now ready to go with an Anubis.
But Dia does get to keep his Dragon Blade because he didn't pull the sword out of the sheath, so luckily for him, he still has it available. But you see the pressure being put on XPG by this man. He doesn't necessarily need to heal. He's just constantly shooting whenever he sees XPG in the air. That Winston jumping as well, Tankyu's going to be very hard to do much about. Even the sleep dart coming through, and Dia's looking for revenge.
Yeah, that's right. Sound barrier being used here as well for the side of Lunatic-hai, and ultimately, surely, he's going to be falling. Nice to use the biotic grenade there as well. From Rouge Hong, keeps himself alive and actually allows him to nano-boost a teammate. Look at these ultimates being used by Vici here, Jason. They are down 0-3 in this fight so far. They've got no kills. XPG finally finds Dean, but that's probably about all he's going to get away with here. You can see Miro chasing, and Rouge Hong comes in with that last dart to get the finish on XPG.
So Rouge Hong played that one really smart too, because the position he was in... Oh wow.
Ooh, hello. I haven't seen that before.
So he drops down to where the Blizzard was already placed by Eska, so he knows he can kite Dia, who's now going to be playing the Reaper, and XPG switching over to the Genji. So they're swapping roles just a little bit here, getting rid of the Pharah. They realize they need the Reaper against this triple tank setup, especially Miro on the Winston. And Dia, has he actually snuck his way in here?
XPG on Genji as well, not Yumi. This is so interesting here, just weird switches for all and sundry now. Litange going to benefit from quick healing from Rouge Hong. He knows he's going to be tested. He gets another shot in towards Dia. Dia going to be zapped down, taken out. No impact there as XPG, who switched all towards the Genji. That hard to keep up with because we're seeing so many rapid changes on heroes and Vici. But so far, none of them are manifesting any results.
And the pressure's really on, considering they have a minute left to capture this first point. If they're unsuccessful and Lunatic-hai capture, that's the whole series now gone. That would be Energy going up against Lunatic-hai in our first semifinal happening in just 2 days' time. But Vici, they have to make the move. They have the Graviton Surge, but they don't really have much to back this up with. It's all going to come down to Dia. They hit a good Death Blossom.
Got an Anubis there as well. It should be noticed in a few moments as Litange now going to get the whole hog. He pushes him away. Dia can't get much done. Then he's hooked back in. I don't really know. Litange just making it so hard for anyone to get close. And Dia had no opportunity really to put any damage down. Now XPG trying to escape. One more shot will do the job, and that's going to be Vici again wiped out. They have gotten maybe 1 or 2 kills on Lunatic-hai in this whole half.
Rouge Hong on the Ana is just unkillable, it seems. You saw XPG try to give it a go. Dia before that on the Genji, they just cannot seem to get close enough to him before he does too much damage. 20 seconds left to go here for Vici. This is the last attack. They have an Earth Shudder, but that's just about it. The Dragon Blade is going to be really important if you can get the nano boost onto him.
I think he was maybe trying to actually get that nano boost on towards XPG, but he couldn't find him. He sort of passed out a line of sight. You can see Yumi's still looking for XPG if he can find him. Now he's found him. XPG going to go through. Does have the nano boost and the Dragon Blade going. This time the fight's going well for Vici Gaming. Now Litange and Eska fall. Just scant seconds really left in this one. There will be a time increase, but no! Overtime coming up from this point, so even if Vici take it here, they're not going to have enough time to work with to actually get on towards the next. They're going to take control, but they're not going to have any time left. This is all they're going to be able to achieve from this half.
Well, they're actually going to... They should ideally be able to capture this one, but Lunatic-hai is trying to actually fight back onto this one. I don't think they have the men, and they're going to get 4 minutes on the time bank back to go to the second point. So let's see if they can successfully take this one.
They managed to get it there as well. I thought they were going to be completely shoved off. Didn't even think they had time to take it in the first place, but they do. The reinforcements weren't forthcoming enough here from Lunatic-hai. Now the push continues. Dia has himself a Death Blossom. I want to jump in over the top here as well, but the Blizzard is there. It's going to be a constant warning to him not to get too close, and he does. He tries to, but Toby again going to be there. The bane of Reapers so far from what we've seen from him. And now Miro tries back through. It's going to be Eska left to his own devices. Enough at least to freeze Tanky right on up there. Put him on ice, but now we're going to have a nano boost used on him to try and stay alive a bit longer. Going to be forced away though. Whole hog, nothing to be done.
Yeah, and Yumu was getting so much for healing off. He was able to get that nano boost back up for this fight. Able to get. Actually, no, the Fire Grenade didn't hit. The Maywall came up in time to actually stop this one. Tanky ideally should be falling as Lichai's just going to pull him back in, but so important here for Lunatic-hai to slow down the pace, to actually get control of this point again, because if they were not able to maintain it, then Vici quickly could have got 2-0 with a lot of time left on the bank.
Now pushing through as well. I think that nano boost coming up for Tanky was very timely, but in response, of course, the whole hog from Lichai's were able to completely shut him down. Good use of that ult now as well. No big changes for Lunatic-hai's team composition here. They've had to sit what they've got a Primal Rage and a Sound Barrier to use here, but Vici have those offensive ults. Dragon Blade, Earth Shadow, Death Blossom at the ready.
Yeah, I think that's why they didn't even want to switch to. Just kind of keep this one because you have so many ultimates up. And we talked about Tracer on the end of King of the Hill, or not King of the Hill, capture point, and how it's okay because you can do a lot of damage. The pulse bomb can be really huge, but the reset factor out of the Genji, so it really makes things possible in finishing up a map. Considering if you stagnate the kills, it becomes a little bit too hard to finish them, and it can finish the map most importantly. But XPG is just going to back away in the meantime. Trying to get some extra damage. I don't
Hero's causing so many problems.
Yeah, he's not really accomplishing too much. I mean, he's going to fall here. He's doing some extra damage, but he helps get Rouge Hong get his ultimate up, as well as Toby, which you can see they've had up for a little bit of time, so it's not too big of a deficit for him. But Vici, I don't know, maybe they need to switch things over. McCree to deal with Esko might not actually be too bad.
Vici are very good at capitalizing and compounding on mana advantages here as well. You see, Dia got hooked in and picked off, and then Lunatic-hai, sorry, and then they went straight forwards. The Koreans just went for the 6v5 fight, won it convincingly, and the Miro chased for extra kills. Look at that! That is so filthy. You see the Bionic Grenade just spilling out onto so many people. Nano Boost as well going down. You can see that XPG's trying to challenge out in Rouge Hong, but even if he gets him in the end, the damage already is going to be done. Yumu falls down. Dian's going to lay the Earth Shatter. Tanky not going to be able to really have any impact over this fight. Either team taken out. And then Miro finds Eagle. It's going to be another wipe for Lunatic-hai. 1 minute 27 seconds remain for Vici to take this second point.
Rouge Hong is just always in these prime positions. The Earth Shatter that came out at the end there out of Dean, I think it wasn't 100% necessary, but obviously we have the ability to see from both sides what's happening, but he also wanted to prevent Tanky from having Earth Shatter himself, because he tried to charge in and then like spin around and do an Earth Shatter to knock down the whole team so the rest of Vici can push back in. But with 6 ultimates to go, Lunatic-hai have to really depend on Eska with this Blizzard to stop them.
Graviton Surge is going to come into the fight now. Rouge Hong backing away. Sound Barrier here for Lunatic-hai, but it might be, well, pretty much expired pretty soon now. Dia going to charge forward, gets hooked here, but manages to get the first meat shot on towards Lichai's. He falls at Zim, getting his second of the fight. And now Dia just looking for an opportunity here to go for the Death Blossom, if that's even going to be required. It doesn't look like it's the case. Miro's able to back away, so Dia could hold on to this one here. And Miro just trying to juke in and out of the shield, doesn't get enough damage on towards Dia to get rid of him. Now, tentatively, Dean trying to get back into the fight, and the Tracer coming out from Lichai's.
Yeah, he's switching over, just trying to keep this one in contention as best he can. Dia's going to finally use that Death Blossom. There's not that many targets for him to hit. Maybe he's a little bit preemptively there. He takes that Rouge Hong for just the shot to the face. And he's been knocked away from the actual point here, which hasn't even crossed the first section of the checkpoint.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Vici are focusing more on dealing with the reinforcements here for Lunatic-hai than capturing the point. Once they've dealt with them, they can capture this one comfortably enough here. Zim takes down Eska, and now it is just drips and drabs of Lunatic-hai pressing on towards the point. Toby gets an Anubis here. That's interesting. We'll see what he can do. He's going to get put to sleep now, just trying to pressure on towards Eagle. Going to take a lot of damage from Dia, who gets up behind him with an Nano Boost of his own. The Tajan falls again to Dia in that fight. Not good for Lunatic-hai. They need to keep people up on this point. This has been contested for quite some time, and now Dia has himself another Death Blossom, but is put to sleep.
Yeah, but Yumu's finally dead. They finally don't have the Anna. They don't have the extra heal. Lead charge and switching over to the Bastion, just trying to do as much as he can to hammer it down, as he still has Eska on the point, trying to stay alive. This is looking good, actually, how to take this one back, but Yumu's trying to run back from spawn to get here in time.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the fact is, Bastion can do damage to people on the point, but it can't actually be on the point. They can't keep things going. Good charge, though. Dia gets knocked up against the wall, but he survives the impact. He doesn't die because Dean's killed as he's charging. Rouge Hong finds XPG. I don't know how he found that pick, but good on him. It's Dia, though, finding Miro. Drops down and towards the lower levels, and Vici have themselves the point there. They've pretty much burned through all the time that they had left, but job done nonetheless.
Yeah, that's actually a big win for them considering how the first point looked, right? They went into overtime contesting that first point, trying to capture it, and after the attack off the back that where it actually looked possible, it looked possible for them to secure the point. Lunatic-hai was able to stabilize and actually push them back off with it, but I think they're not necessarily happy with that performance as well, because considering now they're not going to have any time to really work with when it comes into the second attacking phase, assuming that Lunatic-hai does complete. that means they have to put up a really good defense, and we're going to see how they could potentially do that here in just a few moments once they swap sides.
That is true. I mean, this is also a map where we see teams being unable to finish both points on the first push. I mean, like we see a lot of games of Temple of Maneuvers that don't even get to time bank ultimately. It really depends what kind of defense feature you're going to put up here. And it's not how weird or tricky their strategy is going to be. It's how they can keep making variations and keep dealing with the fact that Lunatic-hai will read them. They will start thinking of ways to get around what's being thrown in their way. But if Lunatic-hai can finish this map with a time bank remaining, that could be rough.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, because all they need to do, they can attack again and just finish it off, take that first point, and then it is done and dusted. The whole series will go 3-0 to the Korean side.
So if they finish, if I remember correctly, under a minute of time, if they finish the whole map in under a minute of time, that means a minute's added on to the side.
Yeah. I think they both get a minute.
I'm trying to remember, because it's so tricky sometimes, and we don't really see capture point that much anymore.
I got thrown off on that first point, because
Yeah.
it's only in time bank that you don't get the extra for being in overtime.
And you get like, yeah, and also
Yeah.
depends, you sometimes get 30 seconds if you finish with any time left. So it's if you didn't finish in overtime, then you get extra time allotted to you, but if you did finish in overtime, then you don't get extra time
That's
allotted
right.
to you after the point.
On time bank,
Yeah.
but if it's in regular time, you'll get the extra 4 minutes added on.
We're all still learning. It's still tricky. We haven't really seen every situation unfold when it comes to capture point, especially since we don't see it too often. But we're going to see now on the defense a Junkrat out of XBG.
All right. Okay, well, this is not the first time we've seen it on this map. It's just not been so popular lately. You can really shut down Dean or someone like that, maybe a slower comp that's trying to advance through this poke. It's going to be Dr. Junkenstein as well, so that's pretty fun to see here. See what XBG can do. A lot of damage being spread. Look at that. Just knocking Lunatic around here like beach balls, but still, chance for the Koreans to set up. They're still together, which means a lot, but it's going to be tough for them now. They're sort of forced back into this room. They can access the point from here, but they don't know what's going to be waiting for them.
Yeah.
So they've been forced to make bigger steps towards this first point than they probably otherwise would have liked to.
Honestly, it's a surprise they're actually able to make it through without losing a single person, because now Rouge Hong's able to get set up here too. Riptide's going to be coming in. That looks beautiful out of XBG, but they already know it's coming from this direction, and it's going to get absolutely nothing. But it does knock someone off. It knocks who was that who got knocked down? Lutation knocked down.
Yeah, no, Rouge Hong, though, he's still up above. Now, he can still get this healing going down. He's got a very good angle over on this side to keep his team alive. Lutation goes forward, finds Tanku. So this, a bit of an average start for Lunatic-hai, actually turning now in their favor. They were forced to go for the point, but it looks like Bichigegaming weren't ready to fight for it immediately, as it were. Dia now going for the Death Blossom here, trying to get around that shield. He eventually does break through on towards Dean, but now he needs to deal with Esker. Esker making it hard to hit. Dia's going to back away here and allow this point to be captured.
I mean, the reinforcements are going to come eventually, but it's going to take a hell of a long time, and they're going to have to almost... Actually, no, they shouldn't even contest this, because if they do and they die, then they can say goodbye to that second point. Yeah, so they have to be so careful here. They're just going to back away and let Lunatic-hai get point number 1. 6.5 minutes, what Vici need to hold on to take this to a fourth map.
I blame that on Vici a little bit there as well, because they weren't able, or they weren't prepared to, or they weren't quick enough to, I guess, back up the damage that was being done in that fight by XBG. They weren't able to chase on towards Lunatic-hai. They allowed them to set up as Vici just drew back and drew their own battle line. Now, well, they're going to press forward here. Another assault on towards his second point here, and Dia's caught the Graviton Surge. He needs to stay alive. He backs away under towards the Shadow Walker now. Going to head into the trench underneath. Shots coming in. Rouge Hong, this man does not miss. Perfect start from him, and he's even got an Anubis to boot. Now going to bring that in when required, but Esker finds XBG, and this could be all but done here for Bichigegaming. Good shield coming in there just to keep Zim alive, or at least to keep him awake at this rate. But Dean, he's left to his own device. Is able to swing for the fence. Zim falls down. Charge comes out from Dean. Doesn't find anyone, but now he can stop defenders coming in from that right-hand side. That's a frozen Reaper there. Dia has to go into Shadow Form to back away yet again. Sound barrier here for Bichigegaming, but not spread on towards many of the players.
And Yumu's going to go down immediately here on the Genji, trying to get the resets which they need. Dia's going to get caught up as well with the help of the wall and the point. It's still being contested for now, but Vici just can't seem to keep enough people alive. The Blizzard's going to come in. This actually would be perfect if they have the backup, but the Winston on Zim is just not able to do the damage. Finally, Yumu's able to join in the party with only 28 HP left. It's going to be focused down. And now Lunatic-hai have 3 people left on the point.
And they should be able to take this one here. I mean, they can push back through Vici, that is. But you can see Dia again forced away. As soon as he comes in, Blizzard now going to come down. Immediate Ice Form forced out of XBG. That Blizzard will still work to a degree on Dia. He can just get away, but he's been spotted. He walks into a potential Graviton Surge there as well from Lunatic-hai, and it looks like he's actually still able to survive. Finds Toby. Now Esker on his own on the point. They've got 2/3 of the way through, and that's going to have to be enough.
Yeah, I was really surprised they committed that many ultimates, like the Blizzard at the end, to try to take it in that last push when they had 3 people alive. Maybe some miscommunication. Maybe they want to keep the pressure on. And people going back to spawn. Are they switching heroes up? No, instead they're just going to heal up a little bit too. They do get rid of the Diva, putting Tanku back on the Reinhardt. But like I said, 2/3 of the way there on the first attack, on the first push.
Big. 4 minutes and a half
huge.
left to go.
Yeah, so they've, what, 2 minutes have gone by now. Dean's going to have an Earth Shatter. They're going to have the Death Blossom Nano Boost combo really soon, and Yumu needs to do some serious work on this Genji somehow.
Dragon Blade will be there for a bit. No Ana for Vici at the moment. None to speak of. Just the one support at the moment as well, which I find bizarre, because they want the extra damage, they want the extra ability to push away, but I think the Nano Boost is probably even more important to them right now, because you see what Licktagium could do with it. Gets two. Yujin Hong finds Yumu now, and he's got a pressure on towards the point. Earthshatter comes in. Dean falls to Dia, actually, who's able to get away, but still, there's no one on the point to contest. Dia has to walk back on, and it's going to be taken. Lunatic-hai, 4 minutes left in the bank here, and they have the chance to attack the first point. If they take it, they're going to win the map.
Thinking about the Junkrat pick for XPG in the beginning, it wasn't a bad pickup, but the problem was, I guess his trap wasn't in the right position because he put it off towards the right-hand side so they could go in and sneak around towards, technically behind them and kind of fight them on equal footing. But instead they pushed to the left-hand side. They all get on the high ground without losing a single person, which is really hard to do. And they're able to attack the point the way they want to. You criticized Vici of saying they were not really in a position to defend that point once we saw Lunatic-hai get on the high ground. But they have to switch things up. Like, that's so much time for them to work with now.
Well, the thing is, though, is that Lunatic-hai weren't given the time to sort of decide how they wanted to approach. But the fact is, if you're attacking that first point, you need to go fast anyway. You need to be decisive. And all that XPG was ultimately able to do was to force this positioning from the side of Lunatic-hai, force them to go that way. They healed the damage that XPG did, they didn't lose anyone, and then they could sit Rujie Hong right at the back of the first point in a very safe spot as Ana to heal the team. At that point, Vici backed up a little bit, they drew the battle line between the bridge and the point, and then they tried to sort of go in and engage, but by the point, Lunatic-hai had time to set up. And of course, they had the fact that they're very instinctive, reactive players, and Rujie Hong in a safe position. You really can't ask for too much more than that.
Yeah, it's the fact that Ana gets in the good position every time, and there's nothing to deal with on the side of Vici. Again, they're going to be sticking to what they did last time, hoping for a different result. But Licktagium on the Widowmaker. He's looking for some big plays here.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Bit of a sleep dart coming through here. Miro gets taken down by Yumu as well. So Vici have to full hold this point to force a draw in this map. And we're going to replay it if that's the case. Lunatic-hai, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. All they need to do is to take the first point and they will win the map, they'll win the series. Licktagium going up high, needs an early pick here as well. Looking for the Reaper, doesn't quite find him. Just going to crouch and keep himself away, but you can see the Junkrat grenades are coming in as well. A lot of damage, but he's constantly being healed up by his own Ana.
Yep.
And now he's going to be joined by Dia. Dia forces him off there, very aggressive, but Dia knows that the rest of Lunatic-hai don't really have the line of sight to pick him off if he teleports to the close side of that upper ledge.
Yeah, but Dia has nowhere to go from the spot. He's have to drop down the midst of the team, and this allows Licktagium to get in a high ground position. Mira already takes on Thank You. XPG's finally able to try back in, but finally Licktagium gets onto the party as he takes Eagle down, and Vici are falling one by one.
Yeah, look, this is going to be caught out here. Dia gets completely hammered. XPG gets forced away. Someone booped him into the mix, and Licktagium just caught him up mid-air with a shot towards the dome, and a see you later, mate. That's going to be it. Lunatic-hai going to be able to push on towards his first point. Then Vici don't have a chance to set up here. You can see that, Thank You just finished his charge out in front of Licktagium. Has no choice but to move towards him now. Obviously jumping and removing your shield every now and then makes you a little bit faster, but it's impossible to really survive the damage coming through. Licktagium used his recon visor, so the entirety of Vici, Lunatic knows exactly where Vici are coming from. There's no way to take the Korean squad by surprise right now, and they're down to just Dia desperately trying to get on the point, but that's it. It's a 3-0 series in favour of Lunatic-hai. Rogue were the first to fall, now Vici the second. They get themselves into the semi-final, an impressive performance to say the very least.
Now Energy, they know their opponent's coming into the match in just 2 days' time. Like I said, a first semi-final Energy up against Lunatic-hai, but they did not look pressured at all in this entire match. They really didn't. The fact they're able to attack the first point on the first try multiple times like that, that just shows, I think, their dominance.
Licktagium here with a bit of a moment, bit of a play of the game from him. Now he's watching it back. I mean, this was important. This second fight, this second point attack or defense is always going to be a grind, no matter, you know, how good or bad the enemy team is or the one that's defending, right? Always a grind in some way. The fact is, Lunatic-hai had a lot of time